Hi everyone, Sunny Strasburg here. I'm excited to share something that I've been working on with you. This is a bit of a larger, longer video, and I hope you'll stick around and watch it, and I hope you get something out of it. It's something that I've been very excited about. I've been working more with people that are in positions of leadership, and I've been really feeling like I wanted to help people contribute to the larger collective. For years, I've been a trauma therapist for 2 decades, and I felt like I was just an emotional janitor cleaning up trauma that was disseminated from the meta level down one person at a time. And I've helped thousands of people individually, but I started thinking, how can I have a bigger impact? And this is the model that I'm developing to do just that. So this is how I understand development and change through the lens of internal family systems, or IFS, and our relationship to the meta crisis. And it's a model that I've developed, and I use this in working with individuals and groups, particularly people who are working with larger systemic change, people who are activists or working in the meta crisis. This is using IFS and psychedelics. It's also using archetypal psychology. So while peak retreat experiences can spark change, they rarely produce the lasting transformation needed for meaningful civilizational impact. The meta crisis demands more than self-help. It requires a durable, coordinated network of capable individuals undergoing deep, supported transformation and then mobilizing toward collective action. The storytelling component is essential, bridging personal transformations with a compelling narrative of global responsibility, helping participants not only evolve themselves, but also contribute meaningfully to the future of civilization. In a world increasingly marked by disconnection, uncertainty, and systemic dysfunction, leaders across industries are searching for new ways to foster resilience, collaboration, and meaningful change. The pace of modern life has become overwhelming, leaving many of us seeking a more sustainable, humane, and interconnected path forward. So this model of within, between, and beyond, and by the way, the terms were inspired by Britt Ray, who's an incredible person working with climate change, but I'm applying these words to a totally different model of psychology. So the within, between, and beyond model offers a framework to meet that need at 3 different levels. So we look at within, healing trauma and deepening self-awareness and cultivating resilience in individuals through autobiographical processing. This is using internal family systems, archetypal psychology. We're helping unburden parts to access the energy of self. And then we move between, building authentic connections and encouraging meaningful collaborations between individuals in interpersonal relationships of various kinds. Recognizing that parts within get constellated and emerge in others, as well as ourselves, during interactions. These interpersonal constellations can be brought into conscious awareness in an IFS format for deepening understanding, compassion, and intimacy. And then beyond, scaling personal transformation into societal change in larger systems, recognizing that larger systems of parts are mirrored in metacultural levels. For example, the polarized parts in the macro system in politics. Utilizing IFS to work with our internal ecosystem and how they relate to the macro dynamics in the culture we experience. So let's circle back in a deeper way. Let's look at within. Our work begins with personal transformation, focusing on the internal and autobiographical ecosystem of the mind, body, and spirit. Through holistic support, autobiographical processing, and optimization, participants become more open, grounded, and ready to contribute meaningfully to the larger collective. Individual IFS therapy sessions, integration, ongoing learning, accountability, and committed action are all central to this journey. By supporting those on the front lines of global change and deepening their connection to themselves, each other, and the world, the theradelic approach helps cultivate the clarity, resilience, and vision required for lasting impact. And now between. This model emphasizes the importance of the in-between, of intimate relationships, cohort-based group dynamics, and the creation of shared meaning and language within these smaller ecosystems. These elements form the foundation of ongoing community support that keeps participants engaged and grounded throughout their transformation. The parts that create the internal parts ecosystem are mirrored in constellations in our external ecosystems of interpersonal relationships. When we are triggered by others, a part of them activates a corresponding part within us. Interpersonal conflicts are parts reacting to other parts. And we can now recognize how burdened protectors and exiles attract burdened protectors and exiles in others. Conversely, self-energy is also infectious. The self attracts self in others. And this is manifested on all scales of the within, between, and beyond ecosystem. And so beyond, the question we ask next is, now that individuals are transformed and optimized, what are they able and motivated to do in service to addressing the meta crisis? We are developing a therapeutic model that initiates people into a story of planetary maturation, guiding them not back to the conventional norms, but forward into a new narrative of responsibility, agency, and systemic engagement. This approach follows the within, between, and beyond framework, supporting the internal ecosystem of the individual, strengthening their close relationships, and activating their capacity to contribute meaningfully to the broader societal transformation. This is not simply a better way to do psychotherapy. It is therapy designed explicitly for the context of the meta-crisis, where individual healing is inseparable from communal and civilizational impact. The framework moves people from an autobiographical processing and personal integration into a clarified sense of purpose and action. Through this process, individuals are supported in claiming their unique role in addressing complex challenges facing humanity today. This within, between, and beyond framework offers a flexible, deeply human approach to meeting leaders exactly where they are, whether they are navigating inner conflicts, team dynamics, or systemic change. At the individual level, leaders can use this model to understand and heal their own internal part systems, especially the protectors that arise in high-stakes work. As they deepen self-awareness and increase access to self-energy, they cultivate the resilience and clarity necessary to lead from a grounded center. At the relational level, the framework helps leaders understand the ways their parts interact with others' parts, how conflict, reactivity, and intimacy challenges in teams and communities are often protectors constellating protectors. By developing shared language and compassionate curiosity, leaders foster deeper collaboration. At the systems level, the framework supports leaders in seeing beyond personal growth toward meaningful engagement with the meta-crisis. It offers a map by translating inner transformation into outer impact, guiding leaders not only to regulate their own systems, but also to influence broader cultural systems with coherence, vision, and a sense of sacred responsibility. This framework is not just a model for internal insight, it's a tool for collective evolution. I hope you enjoyed that. This model is applied to anyone that's working with small groups of leadership, like I said, in families, their family systems, or larger organizations, whatever the sphere it is, politics, entertainment, business, finance, whatever. This can be applied to all systems. We understand that this developmental model is concurrently working through the internal system, the interpersonal system, and then the larger collective. I hope you enjoyed that. I would love to hear your thoughts about that, and have a wonderful day.